Do you want to start a side hustle online but feel completely stuck on where to begin? Keep watching because by the end of this video you'll know how to pick the right side hustle for your lifestyle. Get your first offer out there and actually turn it into something that actually lasts. So if you've been overthinking instead of earning, then this is the video you've been waiting for. Now before we get started, can I ask one small favour? If you like what I do here, can you please hit the subscribe button? That keeps me energized to bring you more content. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Okay, let's begin with tip number 1, which is to choose the right side hustle for your lifestyle. Now the first thing I recommend is to start with your actual schedule and not some dream version of it. If you only have 2 hours a night, then you don't want to pick something like Amazon FBA. That requires constant customer service and constant product management. Instead, you want to be looking at side hustles that can be done in short bursts. Things like selling digital printables on Etsy, or even managing social media accounts using Buffer or Later. Now don't fall into the trap of thinking that you need a passion project. What you actually need is a strength-based side hustle. Now one of my students, Sarah, who was great at organising but really hated her office job. Now instead of chasing opportunities like drop shipping like everyone suggested to her, she started doing virtual assistant work on Upwork.com, and within just 3 months she was paying her car insurance from those earnings. Now this was real life-changing impact for her. Now here's a myth that you've probably heard: find the perfect idea first. That's really not very useful. The perfect idea really comes from trying and not thinking. Now I suggest that you really test small at first. Fast ideas like listing a $5 gig on Fiverr.com, editing simple things like reels for social media, or just writing resumes is a good place to start. Real world action shows you what sticks, not endless brainstorming. So you want to think about your energy levels here and not just your hours. If you're mentally drained after work, something passive like creative digital templates with Canva Pro is a much smarter option than coaching calls that demand your full presence. Now David, one of my students, was really exhausted from night shifts. He created simple budgeting spreadsheets, listed them on Etsy, and now sells them in the background while he actually sleeps. So don't just assume your side hustles has to be big from the start. You want to just start small. Even making your first $50 online can change your entire mindset. That $50 isn't about the money, it's about the proof. Proof that you can do it, proof that people value your skill set, and the proof that you don't have to rely on only a paycheck. Now a smart way for you to start is by actually leveraging skills that you already have in your job. So you're bound to have a lot of skills right now. So if you're good at spreadsheets, then you can offer data entry services on freelancer.com, and you can even use AI to actually do this as well. If you're always helping co-workers with presentations, you can list slide design on Fiverr.com. You already have more monetizable skills than you may think. Now the transformation here is simple but very powerful. Instead of feeling stuck with no time or no ideas, you'll suddenly see your everyday skills and spare hours as stepping stones. So you just want to start small and get the ball rolling. That shift from scarcity to possibility is what actually gets your hustle started and off the ground. Let's now move on to tip number 2, which is to build a simple online presence. Now you want to forget the myth that you need a fancy website to get started. I recommend that you begin with just one social media profile. Now if you're a creative, Instagram or TikTok is going to be very good. If you're a professional, LinkedIn will open doors much faster for you. Now Sarah, the VA that I mentioned earlier, literally updated her LinkedIn profile headline to say the following: helping small businesses with admin and scheduling. That's all she actually used as her tagline. And that actually landed her first clients in just 3 weeks. Now the thing that you should really focus on is your bio clarity. Don't write vague things like help people live their best lives. You want to write something like I design Canva templates for busy entrepreneurs and business owners who hate graphic design. So you want to get a bit more niche and a bit more specific. Now that one line is much better than any logo because it tells people exactly why they should actually care. Now don't forget that you don't need thousands of followers at all. I suggest you focus on relationships over reach. Now, even just 50 people seeing your posts is enough to land a first client if you're very clear and approachable and engaging. So just think of it like being at a coffee shop. You don't need to shout to a stadium. You just need one or two good conversations. A resource that can make you look more polished without wasting money is Canva, so you can use the free version. And you can actually use it to design simple graphics and visuals, carousels, or even business cards. These things are going to be very helpful. Now, one of my students, Jenny, actually sold digital planners on Etsy, and she basically designed her first one entirely in Canva and spent $0 on adverts up front. And her first sale came from someone in her Instagram DMs. Now, I recommend you share your journey and not just tips and advice. So instead of trying to look like an expert from day one, just talk about what you're learning and what you're actually testing. For example, you could say something like this: I just uploaded my first Etsy template which took me 2 hours. Fingers crossed that it sells. Now, that type of honesty helps to build more trust, and people will start to follow your growth as well. Now, to make this a bit easier, you want to use scheduling tools like Buffer or Later. So you want to just block out one evening and a few hours, batch 5 or 6 posts together, and then just let them drip out during the week. That will save you a lot of time. That way you're much more consistent without stressing on a daily basis. Now, consistency and relevant content is what actually builds recognition. The transformation here is very big. People start seeing you as the person who does X. That shift from hobbyist to go-to person happens the moment that you show up online in a clear and consistent way. Let's now move on to tip number 3, which is to start selling before you actually feel ready. Now, the harsh truth is that you're never going to feel ready, so I suggest you actually sell before you feel qualified and ready. Now, Mike, one of my students, created a simple $30 meal preparation PDF guide using AI and Google Documents. He basically showed it to 3 or 4 co-workers and actually sold 2 copies in the same week. And he suddenly realised, wow, I actually have something valuable here. So you want to start with the people in your close network around you. So this can be your friends, your co-workers, and anybody else. In a community groups on Facebook and LinkedIn, and anybody else that you interact with on social media. These are going to be warm leads who already probably trust you really well. Now, selling to strangers will actually come later, but your first few wins will usually come from people who already probably know your work ethic or your personality. So don't get tricked into thinking that you need a massive audience. You really don't. You just need one paying customer. When you make your first $20 online, something in your brain flips. You stop actually doubting yourself and you start believing more in yourself and your abilities. So you want to be asking for feedback along the way, even if people don't actually purchase. Instead of seeing no as a rejection, you want to see it as some free data to learn and improve for the next time. Now, if someone says, I didn't understand what you were offering, that's not actually failure. That's your sign to make your pitch more clearer or your messaging clearer and better. Now, you want to keep your first offer ultra simple, so don't launch a full course. You want to just launch a 1-hour workshop on Zoom. So that's a good example that you could do. Now, you don't need to build a whole Shopify store either. Just list one simple product on Etsy. Or if you're using social media, you can use Stan Store. That's a really good place to start. Now, complexity actually kills momentum. Simplicity will get you moving forward. Now, one simple but very powerful trick is actually pre-selling your products and services. So you can actually offer something before you actually make it. Now, Jenny, the Etsy student that I told you about earlier, pre-sold her course on how to create digital planners to 10 people at $40 each. So she pre-sold her course here. Now, once she actually knew that people wanted it and there was enough demand, she then went away and actually built it using AI and some other ways. That way she was paid to create. Now, the transformation you'll feel here is more confidence, not the fake rah-rah confidence, but the grounded confidence that comes from actual proof. Someone valued you, what you made enough to actually pay for it. That changes how you see yourself going forward. Let's now move on to tip number 4, which is to turn your side hustle into something sustainable. Now, I recommend you think systems early on, so things that work 24/7 and are automated, and you can use AI to do this for you. Small things like creating email templates with AI in Gmail, or even using Trello to track client tasks, can save you many hours later on. Now, one of my students, Sarah, set up canned email responses for her VA business, and it actually freed up almost 5 hours a week, which she was spending retyping the same answers. So setting up systems to automate tasks for you is going to save you a ton of time. Now, you don't want to compare your side hustle to someone else's either. That comparison will actually hurt you in the long term. Now, instead, here is what you want to do. You want to compare against your own past beliefs. So a past belief could be, 3 months ago, I wasn't making anything online. Now I'm covering my Netflix subscription with my side hustle. So there's a simple belief that you can actually model. Now that is real progress. Now a smart move for you is to reinvest the small profits in good ways to save time and money, or even make more money. Now Mike took his first $90 from his meal preparation guides and actually bought a Canva Pro subscription plus a cheap microphone to record videos. So he just made 2 simple upgrades, but very affordable, and you can do the same thing. Now that simple upgrade doubled the quality of his content, and it actually helped him sell more guides in the process. Now don't forget, growth doesn't always mean more. Sometimes it means cutting some things off. Now when you set up some systems that work for you 24/7, you'll find you'll be able to reduce time on spending on certain things. If one offer drains your energy but another feels more fun and pays well, then just simply reduce what you do with the first one and double down on the second one. Simplification is scaling. So you want to challenge the myth that side hustles are just extra cash. Now if you treat it like play money, that's all it will ever be. But if you treat it like a real business and you track the income, you pay yourself, and you reinvest wisely into things that will save you time and money, or even just make you more money, it can actually evolve into something long term if you choose wisely. Now one simple strategy that creates sustainability is actually moving from one-time sales to repeatable income systems. Things like subscriptions, digital downloads, courses, or even service retainers smooth out the ups and downs for you. Even just $100 a month steady is more valuable than $300 once and nothing next month. Now the transformation here is more security. When your hustle runs on systems and repeatable income, so systems that you can work with AI, that work around the clock, generating more leads and more sales for you. This is really going to help you, and it's not just a side hustle, it's more peace of mind for you as well. It means that you've actually built a bit of a cushion, some extra freedom and breathing room in your life. So you want to use AI to set up systems like chatbots that can work for you 24/7 to help you generate more leads, more sales, and even other things as well, like AI agents and AI employees. So AI is really going to give you a ton of options here to help you set up automated systems that work for you 24/7, generating you more leads and more sales, and helping you to save time and increase your revenue. Let me now give you tip number 5, which is to validate your idea before you go all in. Now one of the biggest mistakes I see is people spending months building something before checking if anybody even wants it. I recommend you flip that around. So you want to start small and validate really fast. Tools like Google Trends or even Exploding Topics and AnswerThePublic.com can show you if there is interest in your idea is growing or even shrinking, and that can save you from chasing a dead end or a bad idea. So you want to use these tools: Google Trends, Answer the Public and Exploding Topics. Now one easy way to test demand is by using Reddit or even Facebook groups. So you can search for your idea and see if people are asking for it, complaining about it, or even sharing some solutions. Now, if you see lots of questions but few good answers, that's your gap. For example, I saw dozens of posts in a budgeting group about simple Google Sheets for tracking expenses. That's basically a free business idea sitting right there. Now don't think that you need to spend big on surveys. I suggest you run a quick poll on Instagram stories, X or even LinkedIn. A simple question like, would you pay $20 for a meal preparation guide that saves you 5 hours a week? This is a good example, and it gives you more clarity than weeks of overthinking. Now, Laura, one of my students, thought about starting an Etsy shop selling digital wedding planners, but instead of creating 20 products up front, she listed just one template she built in Canva Pro. She made her first sale within just a couple of weeks, and that single sale proved people actually wanted it. Now she's expanded her shop, but only after real buyers started showing up. Now, a powerful resource for quick validation is actually gumroad.com. You can throw up a simple product page in an hour with no coding and no website. Now, Tom, one of my students, actually pre-sold a simple $15 Notion template using Gumroad and shared the link in a productivity Discord community and on Facebook and LinkedIn. And he sold 7 copies before even finishing the template, and that gave him the motivation to complete it and actually improve upon it. Now, another underrated validation method is testing search demand with tools like Ubersuggest and answerthepublic.com, or even just typing your idea into YouTube search. So all these methods are really useful. I recommend to use answerthepublic.com. It's free, so you can do some searches to see what people are searching for and asking for on Google. Now, if people are searching meal prep guide for busy mums, or simple things or simple keywords related to that, or something like simple Notion budget template, then you know that they're already hungry for it and there is enough demand. So you need to find something that has enough demand. Meeting people where they're already searching is one of the smartest moves that you can actually make. So you want to use these tools, Ubersuggest and Answer the Public, to find what people are actually searching for on Google and then validate your demand that way. Now, the transformation here is huge. Instead of wasting potentially months or even longer building something that probably flops, you'll get some proof right up front that people are interested and searching for it on Google. That means when you do invest time, money or even energy, you know it's going into an idea with some legs and some room to actually grow. And that shift from guessing to actually knowing is what gives you some more momentum. Wow, that's it for this one. Now, if you're serious about building your online business and creating a sustainable online income, take the next step now. Click the link below in the description or in the comments and go through to my website, where you can find some free training resources to help you get started right away. These free step-by-step resources are designed to guide you through launching a successful online business and generating online income streams. So don't wait, take action today. Click the link below and start your journey right now. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does energize and motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to connect on social, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and have a wonderful day.